Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am ManyNinjas. Welcome to the next installment of Retro Ninja Gaming here, where we are going to continue our run on Rockman 4 minus Infinity. Moving on to the fourth character, or the fourth stage overall really here, I decided we're going to be going after Dustman, who in this case holds a modified Master Weapon that'll be useful for collecting some of the hidden items that are located throughout this game. Of course, Kurosawa wasn't going to just hand you such a helpful item, so in order to get Dustman's new weapon, you have to go through a pretty devious stage in order to do so. Let's begin. To start off here, the first big hurdle on Dustman's stage will be this nice conveyor belt section, which will be taking up the first general long room of the stage. In terms of what's going on here, you're going to be pelted from all over the place with these falling items, as well as that one series of flying bullets and that stupid-ass clown from Mega Man 2, which I don't remember the name of right now. In terms of the falling items, 90% of them will be able to be shot away with a single buster shot. The problem? The items that can't be are the spiked wheels that do show up with a good deal of frequency, and anything that you do manage to shoot will have a good chance of being able to explode, and the residual explosions will hurt you. Moving onward, once you get back there, notice the new temp bar that's hanging out there? That's the temperature for this area, which is pretty much kind of a burning furnace for all the trash that's been through the area. If you happen to be still in this general long room when that temp reaches the full bar, you die automatically, regardless of how much health you have. So basically, it's a nice mad dash in order to get outside of this area. Hello, optional jump egg. Goodbye, optional jump egg. No sooner do we fall down, do we reach another section where you're running away from something. This is kind of the general theme of Dustman's stage, to be honest. You spend more time running than really doing anything else. Of course, firing along the way to get rid of any obstacles that just have been moving and keeping you from your goal. Once you get through this nice little long room here, you'll be finding yourself dodging something else, but in a new direction at least. In this little short room, you need to be able to match your jumps in order to go with the timing of these pipes. If you manage to get yourself dragged all the way over, you get automatically crushed for an instant death. Thankfully, since you come through that section, Kurosawa decides to give us a little bit of a breather room. To be honest, aside from just making sure you don't accidentally run into an enemy here, the only real threat would be the various bits of trash that will be falling from the ceiling, falling towards the enemies, and any kind of debris from the hammer that you just have to make sure you don't accidentally run into. Otherwise, it's actually a fairly straightforward room, which are doing a bad job of not running into things. Conspicuous generosity? There's a reason for that. This next room that I'm about to show you is absolute BS. Why? Meet these things. Generally, it's something that reminds me of something along the lines of what you'd see for maybe a Yellow Devil stage. You have a bunch of random blocks that will just be flying throughout the general area. What makes this particularly annoying? There's no pattern to this at all. This pattern will actually be changing each and every time you play this stage. There's no real rhyme or reason to it, and the only real way to get through this section without taking too much abuse that I personally know of is to hope that the walls set up enough of a blind pattern that it creates a wall that will actually be able to protect you from everything else. Now that we're done with that rubbish section, Rush, if you could please, I'm going to need a lot of health items in order to get through the last part of the stage, as this is literally just before the boss room. Alright, Rush. Anything else? Maybe a free E-tank? Okay. Oh, man. Okay, Rush is too tired. Okay, now equipping the Power Shotgun, which effectively is this game's version of the Atomic Fire from Mega Man 2 in order to take on this boss. Dustman will be having a general pattern of either sucking and blowing things at all times, with occasionally hopping across the screen. What makes this particular fight somewhat dangerous compared to the old version? There's constant debris going all over the place, and if you do happen to get sucked in, something interesting will happen to Mega Man. Which, let's see, next shot should set him into desperation mode. Now there we go, and oh, that's what happened. Rockman gets sucked into a nice little cannon, and if Dustman happens to tag you while you're still in that mode, you either take obscene damage or die outright. Well, even with the Atomic Fire ripoff, that was much too close, ladies and gentlemen. Fortunately, we still have Dustman's weapon, the Recycle Inhaler. What this particular item does is basically suck in things. But what happens next? That's the interesting part, which I'll be making a better view of in the next video. Alright, 49 minutes in. I've still got quite a bit of work, ladies and gentlemen. Catch you next time.